back at the 100 Gems podcast, and yes, Dr. Robert Pyles has made it in the building, and I'm looking so forward for y'all to hear about some of the things that's going to be coming from the master class, from the master himself. You know, so Pyles, why don't you just give us an overview of the master class, what we're going to be experiencing for tomorrow, and how we're going to be doing. You know, what you're going to be wearing. Because I know you're going to be sharp. I know you had said something, but it's going to be a Gucci jacket with a Gucci black and a white Gucci shirt. Just no.
Well, you know, I don't think I'm going to come Gucci too much.
Yeah, I know.
I may give y'all a break. I don't know. But they say, if you didn't want me to come like that, don't invite me to the party.
Uh-oh.
So one of the things that I'm excited to be on the podcast and 100 Gems and to be here with my friends, Darvin, who came here from Atlanta, to talk about finances and what we're really trying to do. And I want to make this to be something that changes the way we do our critical thinking.
Yeah.
That's first of all. So if you're coming to get an answer to one problem, it's the wrong setting to come to. Mm. And what I'm trying to say is that I can give you the answer to 1 and plus 1 is 2. And you can memorize that. But I want to know the formula. I want to know how to think, how to utilize critical thinking. Mm-hmm. And you do that by asking the right question. The Big Six deals with asking the right questions. One of that, you learn to ask the question of yourself, or you'll learn to ask others the critical questions before they go into business. You're talking about health. We talk about finance. We talk about relationships, purpose. We don't talk a whole lot about that's the last thing, because you get the spiritual growth and the development, the personal development piece together. Purpose sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right.
So
right.
when they come to the Big Six master class, what you're going to learn is how to utilize your critical thinking, asking the right questions. So as we sit down, we do it in reverse a lot of times because we give them the answer versus teaching them how to think. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about finances, I want to start my business up. First thing you do is that, Darvin, I want to get finances for my some project. You begin to ask questions.
Right.
Now, the questions that he asking me, that shouldn't be the first time I've heard that I should already ask myself that question. So when I get a chance to get that audience or be in front of the banker or doing something, someone around me should have asked a question. Do you have your personal information, financial information thing done? Do you have what we call, now we have a cover sheet where the intent, the letter of intent, what you need the money for. He asked that question. The banker gonna ask them the same question.
Right.
What are you trying to do?
Right.
How much money do you need? So before I come to you, I should be asking them questions. And then if I don't know what question to ask, that's why we call them mentors. We call people in our circle. We should Big Six. We call it Big Six.
Yeah.
You should one, provoke me to go get the answer if I don't know it. You should provoke me before I go to the banker. Before I go there, we should know your credit score. We should know we should know the language.
Yeah.
And what we do is we allow people to leave home. We talk that right. Mm-hmm. And when I see people, and I say, I know somebody was at home with you when you walked out with that on.
Right.
I know.
So he might be talking about me right now, y'all.
No. And that's why I tell people, right? I don't like how you talk to me. I don't like what you said, but I love it because it's going to help me grow.
Yeah.
And we get offended. And the offense should not be the kind of offense that we want to get mad about, but it talks about being provoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should vote you to another level. As a matter of fact, when you leave the room, right, you should be saying to yourself, man, I got to step my game up. I got to be more prepared. Because when you love yourself, the question is that if I really love me and I want to move this thing, I should have already been prepared before I go into the setting. So when they come into the Big Six on tomorrow, when they leave, my objective is that you have the master plan. They talk about master classes,
right?
And you can teach me how to answer that question or memorize. This is really something that works everywhere,
right?
Because we say if it works somewhere, it works everywhere.
Yeah.
So every area of your life is connected.
I just want to chime in just to talk a little bit about the Big Six. I go to the Big Six every Tuesday. And I got to tell you, since I've been going to the Big Six, my life has done nothing but improve in all areas. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I have a young wife. You know, one of the things is, you know, we had to work different things out. You know, I'm old school and, you know, I'm cutting different ways, you know, so there's certain things I just ain't going for. And then with her being young, but going to Big Six, it allowed me to start asking the right questions in my relationship. In business, I'm talking about, man, since I've been in Big Six, man, I ain't been doing nothing but having it. It's been growing and the accomplishment is every day. My days are productive as I don't know what. And they come from me going to Big Six. I'm being held accountable. And then, of course, I get to hang around Dr. Pyles on a regular basis. And he forever saying, Rob, did you do this? And Robert, man, I think you should do this right here, man. Why don't you take a look at that? You know what I mean? And because of who he is and what I know he's already accomplished, I'm finna listen to what the man talking about. I'm finna give him some real, you know, attention. And I'm gonna be involved with keeping it 100, whatever he doing. I'm trying to hang out. And in Big Six, though, also I can attest to the other participants. They don't want to leave. We talking about 5:30 in the morning. And we got a room full. We got the virtual. I'm talking about it's going down. And when it's time to leave, everybody there, you know, tuned in too. That's another thing. That's what I loved about Big Six. We all tuned in because some of the topics, the pastor, he also liked to use props and different things to that nature. You know what I mean? And he make it to where you gonna get it, you gonna understand it on a real personal level, and he be coming from a spiritual aspect. But for the most part, I just want to turn back over. Dar, you've been knowing the pastor for a while, and you was talking about earlier how he helped you to launch your with your finance, coaching.
Right.
Let me ask you this here. From way back when in the relationship, how your relationship then grew, tell me where you think, you know, how have you benefited from having a relationship with Dr. Pyles?
Oh, man. So first off, let me give honor to God. Secondly, I want to thank both of you gentlemen for having me part of, you know, just this circle period.
For sure.
Okay. First off, man, Pastor Pyles is like a father figure to me. He's like a big brother to me.
Even though I'm young.
And he the GOAT. Listen, man, he a GOAT. He's a mastermind.
Hey, look,
I want y'all to know that.
Mastermind, man.
I just look old.
You know,
that coffee.
I study him every time I see him.
Yeah.
Right? I'm learning from him every time I see him. Great sense of humor.
Yeah. How you dying?
I mean, you know, for those that don't know, man, of course, you know, a lot of people say that, you know, he the man for having so many McDonald's corporations, 15, 16 at one point. But, you know, I don't know if anybody know about his real estate empire or how he goes in and transforms the real estate market.
Yeah.
You know,
ahead of the game.
Is a
ahead of the game.
Right.
Ahead of the game.
Had more, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes he correct me here, but the largest African-American employer in the state of Wisconsin.
That's
right.
Huge.
Listen, man, come on, man. The man should be honored at all times.
All times.
So let me start with that.
Yeah, right now.
Okay,
right now.
so since I met the pastor, one thing, you know, I told you when I first met him, I told him what I can do and the things I can do, and you know, the pastor, you know, he a thinker, so and of course he had many people like me come by him before. Not Darvin Moore,
right.
But many people say, "Hey, man, I do this what I do, and I can do this." And so I that's what I said to him. I told him the things I can do, what I've accomplished, and say, okay, you know. The pastor he said, okay, well, you know, come to the church and stuff like that. I came and tied in, and he was working with an accountant at the time. He said, well, no, I got somebody that, you know, that helped me with this. I said, well, I'm a little different. And so he let me inside to talk to him on this topic and subject with his own personal and business things. And I came in there and showed him a little bit, and he said, "Man, I'm about to fire this dude. I've been with him all this time, and here you come." And so, to answer your question, man, every time I talk to him, I'm learning something.
Yeah,
you know, I'm a student of the world, and no greater teacher than this one right here.
And he got an eye for. I'm talking about. It's unbelievable how the man can see things. It's like, and he see it immediately. It ain't no whole bunch. Let me think about this. And if he do say, let me think about this, that means he finna get a whole plate full. But that's what impressed me. And I move fast and so on. And I get to call the pastor up though to slow me down. He said, "Wait a minute, Robert. You know," he said, "You done said 20 things, but I follow everyone." and he really do, and he's able to expound on different things. So, with the master class, Pastor, back to the master class, I know that. What do you think? What is the main thing or the main piece you want people to receive from coming to the master class?
Well, the main thing I want them to receive is to leave with a blueprint.
Oh, okay.
Understanding the blueprint. And when I say ask the critical question, begin to ask the critical question. Because once you turn the switch on, you can't turn it off. You can't turn it off. And the nice thing about it is that I don't think it's you can do it and teach it in a formal setting, but it has to be natural.
Yeah.
And I say natural, asking the questions. And so when we're together, we're always big sixing, we call that. We're always asking the question. So when they leave, I don't want them to say, well, I learned this about credit. I learned this about health. I want them to be able to take that blueprint and I can put you in the bag, beat you with a hammer, and throw you in California, and you get out and knowing how to think.
There we go.
When my kids or when people leave your presence, you want them to be able to think, because life, the way I done it, you're not gonna probably do it that way. They ain't doing life like I had it, going into McDonald's, going to real estate. It changes every day.
Right.
And if you don't have a blueprint and understand how to ask those questions of yourself and others around you, it can be a nightmare. So even in the book, we tell them, I don't want you to, I don't want to shut your dream down. I don't want to stop your dream. I just don't want your dream to become a nightmare.
Right.
And a lot of times, when you ask them questions, we can talk about relationships a little bit. People find themselves hurt. They find themselves getting the short end of the stick, right? Relationships. You got to ask yourself, how'd you get here? Man, it's the first time that you feel you got the short end of the stick. It's every time now. So it's something that I'm not asking the right question going into the relationship.
Right.
So you got to ask those questions. And I think that we're uncomfortable asking people the question, you want to borrow some money? The first question, I don't want to hear your story of why you need the money too tough. I want to know how I'm going to get my money back. Right? And how quick.
Right.
Okay? And then I'm going to ask the question is, what if it all goes bad? What if you don't get your tax money? Right? What if you don't go down the pot of water and hit it? How am I going to get my... So those are questions that you have to ask folks. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes people will tell you why you shouldn't lend them the money.
Yeah.
You know? You ain't got to ask them the question.
One of them is, I'm going to pot of water.
Oh, yeah. And
that's a good one.
That's a good one. So
I got a sister like that.
Hey, be quiet, man. We know we lying.
Okay, that is. I'm sorry.
We lying.
I love my sister too, though.
Hey, we love. Hey, you ain't telling which one though, right?
No.
So
it's a couple.
This is how, because I wished I could. We could do commercials.
Yeah.
And the big six, you get in those scenarios and you'll see how it works. Because if you could be my friend, right, there's some questions I should be asking you up front. Yeah. Not after you done broke the rules. Hey man, look, we don't play this. We don't do this. You know, it's just like we call it a rider.
Yeah.
When you bring in stars, you bring in the Kevin Hayden band.
Yeah.
He gonna say, I need this type of plug up. I need this type of that. I need. It's things that he have a list of what he gonna need.
Right.
The singer gonna have a list. I want this type of Hammond. I want this type of organ. These are the type of things that in life we just haphazardly go through relationship and don't ask no questions.
Yeah.
And then I assume that we're gonna get married. I assume that you feel about me like I feel about you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times them feelings get you in the wrong spot. So really the same principle in relationships is the same principle I'm gonna use at the bank.
Right.
I'm gonna ask them questions.
The blueprint.
The blueprint.
The blueprint. I love how you just explained that too, as far as the blueprint. We talking about something you're gonna be able to put down anywhere and everywhere you go. You're gonna be able to use this in your business dealings. You're gonna be able to use this in your relationship. And I can attest to it. I'm popping it all over the place. You know. Here on this podcast right now, it's part of the blueprint, baby. Some of the coaching, to go into some of the coaching that we're gonna be offering and so on. That's what we're gonna be. We giving out blueprints.
And here's the main thing. I when it started out, the journey was as a parent, as a leader, you're the bad guy. Right. I'm telling you yes and no. I give you don't do that. But if I could teach you how the critical thinking go through that, you'll begin to you'll know when they're starting to work. They'll say certain things like, "Man, you know Kevin ain't gonna like this." I can tell you now. You know, Mom ain't gonna like this. That.
Right.
So what you're doing, you're teaching them critical thinking. So as a parent or either as a friend, somebody come and say, "Hey, I'm looking to get divorced." Right? And okay, now people get divorced every day. We know that. I don't want you to get divorced. I want you to stay together, but they do it every day. So have you thought about this? Have you thought about if you're having a financial problem now, y'all get divorced, it's going to be 2 light bills now. So what's the plan?
Ask a divorcee.
Yeah. And how you go? I'm gonna ask them questions.
Right.
You just ask questions.
Right.
Where you gonna live at? You gonna stay in the basement? Those are questions you ask, and then sometimes when they get to think about it, they may go back home.
Yeah.
They may go back home.
Yeah. Remember, I was saying that he can see different things.
Yeah.
That's being able to see.
Hold on, Rob. I'm gonna show you how I work in the streets.
You know, I might know a little bit about that.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna retaliate against you.
But
you know they're coming back.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know, I got family. You got family.
Yep.
So we got to look at if we do critical thinking. Mike Murdoch said, if you think twice, they're gonna think you're a genius. We don't think the critical thing. I've already asked that question. Now you know you go in there talking crazy. You know they're gonna fire you, right? Right. Those are things that anchor in the big 6. Because if I get fired, right, I'm gonna go home, and then my wife gonna stab me in the neck, so it's gonna affect my health.
Right.
You follow me? Right.
Right.
So when we talk about it's all connected, Rob.
Yeah.
Listen, tell you something. When I got my money right,
here we go.
Listen, man, I forget to take my blood pressure medicine. I don't need my medicine, man. My money right. But if I ain't got no money, man, I be popping ass. Listen, can't get that blood pressure down. Man, I was at the VA. I was at the VA.
That's what I'm talking about.
Emergency room. I had been there like 3 hours. I had to go to a close and get my money. I told myself I got to go. They said, well, I said, I got to go to a closing. She said, you're going to lose your spot. I said, what spot? I've been there 3 hours.
Right.
I said, I tell you what, I'm going to feel better. If I went and got that money, I didn't get that prescription fee. I'm going to tell you, man, sometimes you got a headache because you ain't got no money.
Because you ain't got no money. Is that what it is?
Hey,
come on now.
You can tell folks. Sometimes you can tell when they ain't got no money.
You sure can, Pat.
Kevin ain't got no money. He got attitude. What's wrong with it? Give him some money and see what happens.
You know what? I told he do lighten up when he gets some money too. You ain't never. You said that's all I'm talking. I knew you love me.
Everybody got a good attitude on payday.
Come on now. Come on, Pat.
Especially when they get a paper checks out.
Yeah.
People come to work, you get that paper check. What I'm saying is that it is so awesome when you figure it out, everything is connected.
Yeah.
Having a wrong wife
That's a problem.
The wrong husband.
That's a
Or
problem.
have you ride around the block 4 times before you go in the house.
Yeah,
Right? You be sick. So that's why we talk about you have to ask these questions in your development. Everything helps. If I get this right, I feel better, I sleep better. If my money's right, I can get better health care.
Mm-hmm.
So anchoring the big 6 is really a formula, it's a blueprint.
Yeah.
And it teaches you to ask, and the good part about it is you learn to listen.
Yeah.
You know the bad part about that, Rob Hill? You learn to listen. And the majority of the time, people ain't saying nothing.
Come on, Paz.
You know, Charlie Brown, don't you?
Yeah.
You know Charlie Brown? That's how them adults in Charlie Brown sound.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm gonna lose weight. How?
Right.
How much weight you gonna lose?
Yeah. Come on, Paz.
Now I got my buddy. He finally admitted to a number.
Mm-hmm.
Took me about 3 months. Oh, Bosworth.
Oh, Lord, have
Guess
mercy.
how much weight he talking about he lost?
How much was it?
1 pound.
1 pound. You can count it on one hand.
1 pound. I said, man.
Hey, he was serious too, though.
Hey, he lost 2 now.
Y'all think it's a joke. He said,
Yeah.
I done lost 1 pound.
Yeah.
I'm talking about he had a serious, like he didn't really accomplish that,
But
man.
he had, but at least he got a number.
Yeah.
And I asked him again. So if you lost now, he said I lost 2.
Come on.
And what I'm trying to say is that when you have a blueprint, you need to tell me. A lot of times people won't give you a clear number because they don't want to be held accountable.
Right.
Right?
I was gonna mention that too, Pastor. The accountability that come from Big Six.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you ain't finna go in the Big Six and you say you gonna do this.
Yeah.
Was it that what I'm gonna have this done by next week? Let's say we had a couple folks. Well, we're gonna have some business. I'm gonna have my business up and started. I'm gonna have my EIN number, so on and so forth. And they came in there and they didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? So we get to hold them accountable.
Hey.
Come on, Paz. Talk about it. Talk about it. I'm talking, and I know he didn't.
Why?
Because
he had the money.
he ain't had the money.
We took an offer up in the Big Six. We said we take literally the guy said he had the money.
He said he didn't have the money. This is true.
We took an offer up.
Yeah.
And we gave him the money. Yeah. I said, don't come back here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't come back here Tuesday.
Yeah.
Without that EIN number.
He got 3 of them now.
Got 3 business. EIN number. He's so busy that he came to me with another problem. Yeah. See, let me tell you something, man. I ride with you all your problems, but don't keep bringing the same one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna keep going to jail. You must be used to jail.
Yeah.
I like jail. I ain't gonna give me some new problems.
Yeah.
And it should be the next level. So then his problem now is what to choose. Mm. What's the next step? I'm so busy here. Those are the kind of things that you begin to ask the Big Six.
Yeah.
Right? How much money that job is?
Yeah.
How much you gonna make over here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How much you need to make?
Yeah. Do you really want to do this bid?
Do you really want to do this?
Because we didn't have that scenario in the Big Six.
Yeah.
Where we after probing and digging, you find out like this ain't really what you want to do.
You can't say I want to be a social worker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And only get a bachelor's degree and want some Gucci. Because you got to know what a social worker makes. That's the first question. Do you know now, if you're going to take a vow of poverty and just go and just travel the world and do certain things, then you have to know. I have to ask you a question here, right? Do you know what that job pays?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can that sustain your lifestyle? Right? And then people start talking about they're going into a certain business. Everybody want to get into real estate. Right? I asked what type you want to.
Right.
You going to do it your whole rent? Are you
commercial
flipping? Are you flipping? I have a friend of mine, a real good friend of mine. He's in real estate and he does well. I told him, I said, you really don't like real estate. I said, you like deals. He like the thrill of the deal. He literally, and I said, you are a deal maker. You like putting deals together. You put stuff together that other folks can't. I said, so that's what you really, and that come by asking the question and listening. Mm-hmm. So I know you're not a real estate guy, a flipper, because I look at the quality of work you do and the books you read. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I say you need to read Home Improvement. Right. How that sheetrock supposed to look. Right. If you're gonna do this.
Right. That's
what's in your library?
Yeah. That's for real.
I said I want to do housing. You ain't looking at no shows.
Right.
HGTV. I'm asking the question, what you watch on your TV? Right? If this is what you really want to do, let me see your checkbook.
Yeah.
Like your checkbook will tell me what you really want to do.
Right.
You follow me?
Where your money coming from?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
If you want to do certain things and you're trying to get into a certain space, somebody around you should prep you for that space.
Yeah.
Right? I told him. For that next room, we talked about the room last week.
Right.
You know what the room is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to your room now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I got to know what the rules are in this room. Hey, Mr. Rob.
Yeah.
Hey, look. You know, when Joseph is leaving the prison to go see Pharaoh, what did they do? They shaved him.
Mm-hmm.
They cleaned him up.
Right.
Because the Egyptian, they took all his hair off.
Right.
Because the Egyptian don't like hair.
Mm-hmm.
The Pharaoh, they don't like hair. So that's why you see you were bringing this one in the movie, they had no hair.
Right.
Right? They didn't like hair. They didn't like mustache and all that. So what I'm saying is that right?
Right.
No. I ain't gonna say it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get to a place now where Joseph had his own room and his brothers had to comply to what he wanted. We do things to get our own room.
Yeah.
And that's the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tell me about next level and different things, when I met Darvin, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I thought I knew credit.
Right.
Right. He made me feel like I didn't know nothing.
I be feeling like I'm feeling
And
a little bit of that too, especially when he get to cracking, he get to go.
He get talking.
I'm talking about, he be like, my God, this boy, listen.
He know what?
Everything.
He know who got the money,
all of it.
who ain't.
I'm talking about, man.
He studies it. So when I get around him, I like feeling that way. I want to leave people, the circle, and feel like I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm lazy. I go around circles, man, I think I get up early.
Mm-hmm.
I think I work. But it's some folks that, I'm telling you, I had some friends, I swear they didn't sleep. That's the kind of provoking we talking about.
Yeah.
But we want to be, I ain't got to be the big dog. In some area, I am going to be the big dog.
Yeah.
Some level, I am.
Right.
But you have to be around people who going to provoke you to another level.
There we go.
And because every area, health, you talking about health,
Mm-hmm.
he did a class on water. That dumb thing I ever thought I heard about.
Was it a good class?
I didn't go to that class.
Why not?
I didn't go yet. But I'm going to tell you this though, right? I had surgery. When that lady got done talking about water, I went and got, because we drink water.
Right.
I'm from down south. We drink out a hose pipe.
Right.
We didn't.
Come on with it.
I drink hot water. It don't matter. You know what I mean? I drink water, brown water. You thirsty enough? Don't talk to me now. He started talking about that water. My mind wasn't even there, but it had to shift to think about. We talk about health. I got that water, man. That water was different.
Right.
They say you need to get this to make sure your recovery. And they started talking, right? I said, boy, that boy knew something about that water, didn't he? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that's the kind of people you want to be around.
Right.
Right. And you do that by big sixing.
Right.
Ask the question.
Right.
Right. You get into space. Matter of fact, you should practice it. What question I'm going to ask. Don't ask nobody no dumb question.
Right.
You follow me?
Yeah. You want to prepare yourself.
You want to prepare your question.
Yeah. And you want to be around people that's going to help you be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was saying with Darvin, going to the bank.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we go to the bank strong.
Listen, don't ask for nothing.
Yeah.
When you go in the bank, you should let, the file's done.
File done.
Hands down, man.
Yep. You got your profit and loss. You got your financial statement. You got how much money you made last year, the 2-3 years ago. You got a letter of explanation. Because I know there's certain things they going, well, why this was like this right here? How come you ain't filed taxes for 2017 and 18?
19.
And 19. hey, hold on, wait a minute.
Watch out.
Ooh-wee.
We're going to talk about that money.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. What
that money?
Boy, I love the way he say that money.
I like that money.
Hey, come on now.